Hi there, this is Justin. In this video, I'm going to be giving you an introduction to my favorite task management solution, Asana. The first thing that's important to understand about Asana is the overall structure. There's many different task management tools out there, and the best way to grasp these tools is to understand their hierarchy. So I've created for you here a lucid chart diagram that shows you the structure of Asana. So starting at the top, the highest level of Asana is something called a workspace. You can have one or many workspaces in your Asana account. Now, each workspace has members, which you can see over here. And underneath workspace, the next level is projects. So projects is a way for you to organize individual tasks. So Asana is very much focusing on tasks. And what's really awesome is you then have another layer, which is subtask. So just to summarize, you have a workspace. Each workspace has members. And within a workspace, you create projects. And within each project, you have tasks. And if you need even a lower level, each task can have subtasks. Cool. So let's jump into Asana, and I'll show you how this hierarchy looks and some other really cool things about the tool. So I'm inside my Asana demo workspace. I recently became a certified pro on Asana, so they actually opened for me a workspace on their highest level plan. So I have all the features available, but you know, Asana has an amazing free plan. You can have, I believe it's up to 5 members for free, with very little limitations. Obviously, there's some awesome premium features which you'll need. You know, you can only get access to if you upgrade. But anyway, let's start by creating our first project, and you can do that by clicking over here, or on the left-hand side, create a project. And what Asana does, which is really neat, is they have all these templates. So if you, for example, have in a meeting, you know, you can create a project for the specific meeting agenda. If you need to build a business plan, you have all these different templates. But we can actually start one, you know, we're going to create a project from scratch. So I'm going to click on blank project, and we're going to give it a name. So, you know, as a consultant, I build a lot of dashboards in Tableau for clients. So let's go ahead and create a project for a user dashboard in Tableau. So let's go ahead. Maybe we do something like this: Tableau dashboard, user dashboard. We can keep the default view as list, but you also have a way to create essentially a Kanban board, which is really useful. And for now, I'm just going to make it public to Asana demo. This basically means that all members in the workspace Asana demo will be able to view this project. Click on create project. And now we can see over here our project. And if we needed, we can come over here and add a new project. So, whoops, let's close that. So we need to now start creating tasks and sections within our project. So let's go ahead and add new section, and we're going to call this data source development. Push enter. Create. Now we're going to go ahead and create our first task. So Asana is very intuitive. You can see write a task name. I can also have buttons over here, add task, or I can go ahead and add a section. So let's actually add a new section. We're going to call this one QA, and another section. Let's see, let's call this UX. And let's start creating some tasks. So data source development, let's say develop data source number 1, which will be MDS. Let's do this MPS users, and then let's just say we need another one, develop data source number 2, and call the master data source user stats, just as an example. Okay, under QA, we're going to do QA session number 1. This will be post. Let's do after 3 widgets, QA session 2, after 6 widgets, and QA session number 3, and of construction. Okay, UX, right, get color scheme color template from Joan. From Jessica. Give feedback on layout of summary section. Okay, so you're getting the idea, right? So here we have 3 sections, we have tasks, and what I want you to notice is if I click on individual task, we now have this section over here. The first thing is we can assign the task to someone. So I'm going to go ahead and assign the following in the following way. So let's just say I have John Smith, who's just obviously a fictional user. He's going to be doing all the QA with the client, and I'm going to be responsible for everything else. So go ahead and we can assign tasks to individuals. Obviously, best practice in Asana is that every task is assigned to an individual. The next thing that's really neat is due date. So, if you set a due date, it kind of gives it to you in relation to the current date, which is really neat. So, let's go ahead and say we're going to give ourselves a week. The due date here, I'm not going to set. And neither of these, because we're going to do it in a sequence. Going back, we can also add a description, and you've got shortcuts, all kinds of keyboard shortcuts in Asana. So structure, we can go ahead and provide as much context as we want for the task. Join main tables, then add join plus clause. Okay, and you have all these options to spice it up. Sticking with the individual task, up here you can see a number of options. You can give a thumbs up for a task. We can add attachments. So maybe you have screenshots or certain downloadables you want to include in the task. It's especially useful if you're creating tasks for other individuals. And then we also have subtasks. So subtasks are great. You can also add sections. Whoops. Add sections within the subtask section. So for example, here we can do let's just data info, and once again, very intuitive, right? So we can move things around. Do this, speak to about best way join the data sources. So now we can actually, do everything on the subtask level. So, we could go ahead and assign the subtasks. You can set the due dates. You can write comments and descriptions on the individual subtasks. So it gets very, very deep, multi-layered approach, which is really, really awesome in Asana. This over here indicates to us exactly which task and which section the task is under, and I'm going to show you soon why this is really helpful. And then lastly, underneath you have a whole communication component. So I can go ahead and write comments to individuals just like you would in Slack or other communication tools. So check out this task and send me your feedback comment. And now John Smith would get an email telling him that I've commented and drive him back. You also have this concept of inbox where all messages are located. And you can see over here, since I've messaged John, he's now added as a follower on this task. So any major changes made to this task, John is going to be notified, which is another really awesome thing. Asana, if you look up their history, the founder is actually one of the ex-Facebook guys, and they created Asana initially internally within Facebook, and then they realized how powerful it was, and they spun it off as the founder, the co-founder of Facebook who came up with this, he left and he started Asana, and he took the concepts of that internal product and he built it out as the Asana product. And one of the major things about Asana is they want to limit the amount of email, and this is why the communication features are really, really useful, because instead of going back and forth over email, you actually have everything saved within the context of the task. Cool, so not to get too distracted, one other thing I wanted to show you, which is one of my favorite features of Asana, is if I go ahead and I create a new project, and then let's just call this, let's call this something like training, and I'm going to go ahead and create that project. And let's just say John Smith is a new employee in my business and I'm doing training. So, I could do something like this, UX training, and, let's add 1 or 2 tasks. So read about UX best practices, below. And now, let's just say I wanted to mirror this task into this project. So I can go over here. So I came back to the Tableau dashboard project, and I'm going to come over here to this task, and I'm going to click on this little plus. And now what I can do is I can add a second project and automatically assign, I can indicate where within this project I want this task to appear. If we now go back to the training, notice what we have now. We now have this task mirrored in both projects. So, you can just think of a number of use cases for this. Something I've done in the past is I've had a project which I just call Justin, and it's all my tasks. And wherever I've created tasks for myself in other projects, I just mirror them all to the Justin project, and then I can basically just work through, work on the tasks that appear in that one project, because it kind of acts as a list of all my tasks across all projects. So that's it. I hope this was a good introduction to Asana. I've been using Asana for many years. I use it now for my own business, but I used it in my previous company. As I said, I just recently became a certified pro. I'm going to be hopefully working with companies in the future on getting the most out of Asana. I'm also an affiliate of Asana. So if you are interested in using the tool, then let me know, and I'll be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching, and if you have any additional question of Asana, make sure you reach out to me on Slack. Cheers.